Welcome to Nature's Way to Wellness, a series of honest conversations with three women who've partnered with Nature's Way to discuss their weight wellness journeys. The range of topics includes managing cravings, self-love, healthy routines, and all the tools that they're using for their long-term success. I'm Vanessa Rissetto, registered dietitian, co-founder and CEO of Kalina Health. I've been a registered dietitian for 15 years, mostly supporting patients around weight management. I just had the most awesome conversation with Kaylee Slagus. She is amazing. We touched upon so many things just about her journey, about how she felt she was taking up too much space and trying to make herself small, and how she shifted her mindset and got her to the place that she is today. So I'm so excited for you to listen. But first, my disclaimer. These are my thoughts and opinions as a registered dietitian and my views that I would share on an individual client or patient basis. If you have questions specific to your own weight journey, please seek advice from a healthcare professional. Okay, guys, we are back with Nature's Way to Wellness podcast. I am so excited because I am here with Kaylee Slagus to talk about defining what healthy actually really means to each individual and building confidence in your own body. So welcome, Kaylee.
Hi, thanks for having me today.
Of course. Okay, so for everyone who's listening out there, can you just tell us a little bit about yourself?
Yeah, so I am a body empowerment, self-love influencer and curve model. So I spend a lot of my time just really talking to people about finding their confidence regardless of their size, and just knowing their worth comes also outside of their size. I grew up being always the tallest, biggest girl in like my class, and I'm 5'11", so both size and tall. I just always felt like, I just wasn't enough. I wasn't fitting the picture of the typical society, what society wants, what society says. And so I always struggled with that growing up, and my whole life I was trying to fit in, trying to be enough, always trying to be a smaller version of myself. And when I realized, okay, wait, even some of the smallest people still have body image issues, I'm like, I don't think this has to do with weight or size at all. And that's where I really stopped focusing on always trying to be the smallest version of myself, but really trying to prioritize being the healthiest version of myself. And that's kind of where some of my content stems from, and what I do, and then just being a curve model in general, and just taking up space and also promoting health. And it looks different on different body types.
Oh my gosh, I love that. I think we are always, many of us are always trying to like take up less space and be smaller. It is so pervasive and you don't even realize it, right? Like,
Yes.
Yeah. So I love that you're really highlighting that. So like, tell me how you have actually like strived to feel stronger and feel more confident, and actually like shift the way that you maybe like speak and think about this in particular, right? Like how you present and not taking up space and all of that.
Yeah, I feel like that's a good question. In general, I feel like everything is a mindset. I think we can sit here and you can feel down, or you can feel like you don't feel good about yourself, or you're feeling lazy, or you're telling yourself all these negative things. And for me, I used to be in that narrative all the time. I used to say, I need to lose weight. I need to do this. I need to do that. And then I started realizing, okay, this is all in my mind. If I can flip my mindset, and if I can tell myself, hey, I have energy today, I'm confident today, and you can really almost convince yourself those things. Once you start acting that way, your body just starts to feel that way. And I think that is one of the biggest things, is flipping that mindset to becoming the strongest and most confident version of yourself, just by literally flipping the switch and start believing it and know that it's true despite everything that everyone has told us.
Yeah, 100%. I feel like also there are all of these like misconceptions around like what health actually is. Like I get it all the time. I mean, people coming to you and they're like, I think being healthy is being a size 0, or I think being healthy is like not eating carbohydrates. And so curious to what you hear from your followers or other people that are also influencers like similar to you. Like, what are the misconceptions that just like drive you crazy, and what is your rebuttal to some of them?
Yeah, okay, that's so good. So, being an online presence in general, you're going to see the negative comments, you're going to get all those things, and a lot of the times you won't even post something about health, working out, or eating, and you'll just get a comment like lose weight or you're too big or just like you're just enjoying your life living and they're like, "Hey, like you're too big." And it's like, why is this even coming up? But I really think that people just look at a body type and they automatically assume, oh, that girl's not healthy. That girl doesn't work out. She doesn't care for her body. You get things like you don't have discipline and just big things like that don't obviously feel good. And at first it kind of hit me. I'm like, why are they saying these things? Like, I'm not even doing anything. I'm just existing. And I'm getting this narrative like, oh, you're not healthy. But for me, I look at it and the smallest people can also be unhealthy, just like the biggest people can also be unhealthy. And I think we are so focused on looking at someone and being like, oh, you're not healthy because of your size, instead of looking more into, hey, what do they do in their daily life? Not that anyone actually needs to know or care about that, but look at the habits, look at what people are doing, and people can exist in a bigger body and they can still be healthy. There's hormones that take place. There's, diseases, diagnoses, all those things that also like have an impact on who you are in your body. And I just think that so many people for forever have just looked at your size and been like, oh, you're not healthy just because of the way you look.
Yeah. And I'm glad you said that, right? There are a lot of factors at play which inform like how you are, in your life. And a lot of times I've said this earlier is that, people will come to me and they'll be like, I want to lose weight and I want to be 100 pounds. And I'm like, okay, well, when have you ever been 100 pounds? And what's the lowest weight in the last 5 years? And they're like, oh, lowest weight, like 200 pounds. And I've never been 100 pounds. And I'm like, what does everyone in your family look like? Do they all live in larger bodies? Like, yes. And I'm like, okay, so you're probably not going to be 100 pounds. And also I don't like to start with a number. I just want to like change the habits and then like, let's see where we can go to easily. And then we can decide what we want to live with. Because I have had people where we've done like all of this good work and they get to this place where they've lost weight, they feel better, they're fitting into clothes they've never fit in before. And then they're like, yeah, I just want to lose 5 more pounds. And I'm like, oh, okay, really? I'm looking at your food and there's actually nothing for me to take away. And then you would be miserable and starving. So is that what you want to do? Like you make the choice, and 9 times out of 10, they're like, yeah, I don't want to do that. I think I'm good here. And I'm like, okay, yeah, that's really great. It's really great.
No, absolutely. I feel like that's, I've had times in my life where I've been, where I've lost 50 pounds. There's been times where I've done really unhealthy habits in dieting, which I think so many people do because they're just trying to get to that certain number on the scale. And so, for me, I've done it where, yeah, you struggle with food and you're like, what can I take out? What more can I take out? Well, I've never been under 200 pounds. So why do you expect me to ever be under 200 pounds, even when I was at my thinnest? And when I was even in high school.
Yeah.
And so kind of saying that, my question to you is, a lot of people, like we were saying, focus on weight loss. And a lot of times in the wellness space, weight loss is a big, big topic. So how do you really help your clients or your people change their mindset from trying to lose weight to focusing on health?
Yeah, I think in that initial conversation, I often do see like people's eyes light up and you can see like the weight kind of come off their shoulders when I'm like, okay, well, being a size 0 or like 100 pounds, like doesn't need to be the North Star. It's not a one size, fits all. And also I ask people to tell me about their life and their day and the things that they like and they don't like. And generally in that instance, I will hear what happens in the day or whatever. And I'm like, okay, great. You drink alcohol every single day. And we know that alcohol really, disrupts your sleep and you don't go into REM. And this is probably part of the reason why you find yourself craving things during the day and you don't know how to stop yourself. So like, let's do something here where we're going to only drink this many drinks on these 2 days just for this week. And let's see how we do. So a lot of like low hanging fruit, like really focusing on the habits and explaining the why to the patient. Like, I'm not telling you not to drink because I think you have a problem with alcohol. And I'm not even telling you not to drink because it's an extra X amount of calories. I'm saying when your sleep is disrupted, then that, sends you on like a downward spiral. And so presenting it to patients like that, they are more receptive to that because it also doesn't feel like a judgment then. It actually seems to them like, oh, right, that's I do see that correlation. And I'm going to try this. And then when they do come back and they're like, oh my God, I've been sleeping like amazing. I'm like, I know, it's so good. So now let's move on to the next thing. And doing it in phases, in stages, one thing at a time, I find this is where people have the most success.
Oh, I love that. I think that's so important. I think just like you said, how you feel. I think so many people just focus on their size or that number on the scale when it's like, okay, but how do you feel? Like, do you feel just great at that weight, or do you feel sluggish and like you don't feel good? And not just because of how you look physically or what you're supposed to look like, but like, how do you actually feel? And I feel like that, I really like that because that's kind of how I look at it too. What things can I change or improve because I'm not feeling right with my health, not because, oh, my jeans feel a little tighter right now.
That's right. That's right. But I guess like in that vein, what are the things that you do for yourself that help you feel your best? And like, what are the things that you at the moment are prioritizing? Like, is it sleep? Is it like not thinking about the number on the scale? Is it getting enough vegetables? Whatever it might be working for you right now.
Yeah. It's so, I think too, just in general with different diet culture, there's always that new fad. It's like, oh, should I be not having carbs or not having higher protein or this or that. So for me, I've been really trying to just look past the diet culture and what everyone's doing and really focusing on what, okay, when I eat this, it doesn't make me feel great, or this causes me to have a headache. So I love sugar, but I've been trying to a little bit watch my sugar intake because I can tell if you eat something like a cookie and it has a lot of sugar in it, I instantly feel just not as like a crash almost. And so I'm really trying to prioritize some more natural foods just in my diet, my day-to-day eating. I also really haven't focused on having an actual diet. I feel like so many times people are like, oh, I'm on this diet, I'm on that diet. I've done all the diets. I don't want to be on a diet anymore. For me, as soon as I try to diet, it makes me go in a downward spiral. So I really try to just focus on my diet, what I'm eating every single day, and even just my exercise. Whether that's, I love exercise classes, I love cycling, just getting in a good rhythm and a good routine with some of those classes or going on a walk and just moving my body, but doing things to actually make me feel good versus just, oh, I have to do this because it's a checklist thing. I have to get it done, but do it because, oh, when I do this, I feel this way or that way.
Yeah, I think that's really great. And I think that is the thought process to have if you want to like maintain longevity of an exercise routine, right? It's like, I'm not doing this because I have to do it. I'm doing this because I want to do it. And all of these things count, right? So, I mean, I can walk around with a weighted vest or not, and I'm still getting benefits, and that is good enough. It just feels like we're always out here like trying not to take up space and beating ourselves up and looking for a reason to just like be down on ourselves, and I think that's a shame. So I love that you're highlighting that. That's really awesome.
Yeah, no, thanks. And I love your approach too with it because there's so many things and like I said, so many trends that you see online and it's like, okay, this is another thing. Oh, I have to do this to be healthy. And it's like, no, you said this earlier, everyone's different. Everyone has a different body type, a different lifestyle, and sometimes you have to do things to, incorporate that into your routine. So, I guess my question for you is, for people that want to start bettering their routines and creating just a better routine in general, what are some healthy recommendations that you would give someone to creating a routine that's not too crazy where it's unattainable, but that it's just like, it's enough for a busy lifestyle too?
Yeah, I think you have to decide first what your goal is and then work towards that. And like I said before, it has to be a phased approach, right? Like you can't say that you drink juice every day and then now today, and you've been doing that since you were like 5 years old, and now today is the day that you're going to stop and never have it again. There are people that can do that, and I know those people. I had a roommate that it was like wild. He'd be like, I'm gonna, I'm gonna never drink again. And then he just like stopped. And you're like, wow, that's like amazing.
Yeah.
He has like a strong will, right? But most people are not like that. So you just gotta like pick the thing that you're trying to do. And then it's a step function, right? Like it's like, okay, well, I drank juice every day. So now I'm gonna do it every other day and then every 2 days. And then like, okay, great. Now I'm gonna move on to the next thing. But if you're trying to do all the things at once, it's not going to work. It's not going to be sustainable. This is the thing back to like the diets, right? Like all diets work. First of all, a diet is just a pattern of eating. However you want to eat, that's it. When you do these fad diets where we're omitting basic food groups, like, or macronutrients, right? Okay, if you omit carbs, you're going to probably lose weight, right? But how long can you not eat carbs? I feel like you'd probably be like sad because you're missing out on really like delicious food. So like
exactly.
Right. So like, how do you make that work for you? So I think just like getting like really also curious about the things that you like to do, don't like to do. Why do you like to do that? Versus why don't you like to do that? Are you willing to make the change? And do you need any extra support to make that change, right? And so just like getting like really curious and really honest about why you behave in the way that you behave. What can you do? What are the changes that you can make? And you might need support. And it's okay to need support. We all need support. I think that everybody could benefit from a coach in some way, shape, or form. I mean, I run a company. I have a board. I have to answer to people. I have to be coached by people. Right? And so and that feels like very logical to me. And my investors will be like, oh, wow, like you're not resistant to being coached or spoken to. And I'm like, oh, well, I guess because that's like what I do for a living for other people. And I like realize the benefit. So like curious, like what are the things that you use to help you along on this journey and like staying really centered and like grounded? Because I do find that, you are very clear on like how you want to go about this journey.
Yeah, I think that's a really good question. And it's definitely even, so I actually have my master's in social work and I was going to be, do therapy and, kind of around body image and things like that. So I've always been super passionate about having a coach, having a therapist, having the support, just like you said, because I don't think we can do a lot of the stuff we do alone. Me personally, that's something I need to jump in a little bit more on is having that outside support. I feel like for me and doing my content and what I do, a lot of the times when I post something or I put something out, I get a lot of support back from my followers or the people that are watching me, and then they're relating or they're giving me their thoughts or their things. And I do look to that. I kind of look to them for a little bit of my support. And I think it's that community and having the people to keep you accountable. And I've been where I started on social media, and my whole social media started off with how to lose weight, trying to lose weight, or how I lost 50 pounds. And it was this whole thing. But I think we also have to allow ourselves to change and to grow. And for me, when I was posting about that, it's because I wanted to be the smallest version of myself. Whereas as I've grown and as I've just learned and seen life, I'm like, I don't want to spend the rest of my life trying to be the smallest version of myself. I want to keep growing and find things that are lifelong and attainable, because like you said, there's things that you can't just do that. You can't just have a chef unless if you're, a millionaire. Like it's all those things. So just finding, like you said, that support and that accountability from other people and my friends and family around me, that has been really helpful to just kind of keep me grounded.
Yeah. Yeah. So like in your effort to like try to be small, were there things that you did that you think back now like, oh, you know what? I probably wouldn't have done that, or like maybe you did it and like still you don't do it anymore, but you got a lot of learnings from it, and maybe like what were the learnings?
Yeah, that's a really good question. I feel like when I was really trying to lose weight and I was really on that mission, I developed very unhealthy eating patterns. I would really restrict my calories, and then I'd be working out very severely, like every single day, sometimes twice a day, and I would have no energy. I would have no fuel in my body because I was restricting so much, and then I was working out so much. And so, yeah, of course you're going to lose weight. But then after 3 months of doing that, I can't do it anymore. I feel dizzy when I stand up. I can't do those things. And so it was like, whoa, what do I do now? I lost all that weight. But to go back to even just adding in more food or slowing down my workouts, that means you're not going to lose weight anymore, and you're probably going to gain a little weight because you lost weight so fast doing unhealthy habits. And so I really have learned, like, you can't do things the fast way. You if you're trying to lose weight, you can't just, there's no fast thing you can do. I mean, there is, but it's not necessarily sustainable over a long period of time. And kind of on that, that's what I learned a lot about myself and my journey. But my question even to you is, for people that look to restrict calories, but they're working out and they're doing all these things, how do you keep your body fully fueled and give it enough energy throughout the day and for your workouts, while also just trying to maintain that healthy lifestyle?
Yeah, I believe that eating at a regular cadence is the first step in helping you through this. When we restrict, we can do it for a little bit, right? Like, if I have plenty of patients that come in and they're like, yeah, I intermittent fast and I don't feel comfortable eating before 3:00, but then at 9:00 at night, I eat a sleeve of cookies and drink a bottle of wine. And I'm like, yeah, babe, that intermittent fasting is not working for you. So please eat breakfast. And they're like, I don't feel comfortable. I'm like, oh, but you feel comfortable on the back end? This isn't working for you. And so just highlighting that for people. And also, you don't have to have bacon and eggs and pancakes, or, eggs and like home fries, like, right? You could have like a small Greek yogurt and some fruit, and like that can be your breakfast. But I think when you have protein rich, fiber rich meals and you have them at timed intervals, you will do better, right? And you're not overeating, you're just fueling yourself throughout the day. And so then when you have these workouts and you're depleting the muscle stores of glycogen, so of course you're going to be hungrier, you're going to be in a better position. And like, of course, yes, it's okay to have an extra snack because you've been working out more, and that shouldn't then elicit a weight gain. But because we spend so much time thinking that we can restrict, and it's not going to catch up to us, and that is proven time and time again not to be true.
Yeah. No, absolutely. And I love that. And just finding those things every few hours, or those staple things you can have in your pantry just to grab and go, where you're not feeling, oh, what can I do? I don't want to restrict myself, but you just have some of those things that are high in protein and that just can keep your energy going. And that's too where I think a routine is so helpful. And I don't know about you, but what do you believe in, like, having a good routine? Do you think that every day we should be doing things differently? Like, what do you feel like when it comes to routines?
Actually, like, the studies do show that when you are in a structure, it doesn't have to be as like rigid as probably the structure that I've implemented in my life and the lives of my children. But when you are in a structure, you do have more success. When you're doing the same things over and over again, that mitigates this symptom of like, where do I go? What do I do? How do I do it? Should I do it? Is it right? You think less because you're already primed, thinking like, oh, well, every morning I wake up and I eat this same breakfast every day and it works for me and I don't feel hungry. And for the times that I have gone off that plan, it hasn't worked out for me. So I'm going to stick with this and it's going to work. So I think when you give yourself proper guardrails, and then also understanding that things change and you're not going to be able to execute in the exact same way every single time, 100% of the time. This is where then you're going to have like real success. And I tell people this all the time, like having kids, I put them on a schedule, but maybe the schedule said they were going to eat at 11 and then the baby was crying at 10:30. So then I just fed the baby and it was fine. And like my kids were sleeping through the night at, 8 weeks, 10 to 6, and 12 weeks, 7 to 7. And my kids like sleep in their own beds and they can do things on their own. And, they also have a structure. So if you continue to do the same things, you are going to have more success.
Yeah. Oh, no, I love that. And I find that true even just with me and my routines and doing my workouts or having my same lunch every day, or just to make things easier and structured so I don't have to always think. I think we're so busy all the time. To just have a structure and routine is so nice and so helpful. I actually, in a part of my routine, I've been taking the Nature's Way drink for a few months, and I know you know a lot about it too. And I just was curious, based on the ingredients in it and it being clinically studied, like what you feel like that drink really can do in our day-to-day lives.
Yeah, the Nature's Way Weight Manager is awesome. First of all, it's like super portable. You know, they have like little packets, so you can just throw it in your bag and go anywhere, especially for someone like me who loves something sweet after dinner. I don't drink alcohol, so like I actually have like a fun time with it. Like I go out with friends, especially in the summer, and like, you know, I'll put it in water, or I add it with, you know, seltzer, and I make it more fun and like maybe add fruit to it. So like that's the way. And then also it does have a sweet taste, but it's less than 1 gram of sugar, no added sugar. So there's that. It also is a good source of fiber, which helps to keep you full. It has B6, it has B12. And then it is a supplement that is well researched. So not or unlike when, you know, my friends are like, hey, I saw this thing on Instagram, this supplement. Do I need to take it? I'm like, I have no idea what this even is. And these ingredients are suspicious to me. So no, thank you. This I can like point to, right? So, you know, that deep red, like that blood orange color comes from it's the Morocell, which are these Moro oranges from Italy. And so they have antioxidants, right? And also it is well known that this can help with the reduction of abdominal fat. So like amazing, awesome. And then we have the Chromax, which is chromium percolinate, which we have known and studied for years, and that can help with a reduction of blood sugar, and also helps to curb the cravings. Like we know this, and so I feel very, very comfortable with, you know, offering this to patients, suggesting it to them and letting them know like, hey, it's not one size fits all. And this is just going to be something else in your toolbox. And you're going to also have to remember to continue to have, you know, a balanced diet and an exercise routine. And again, doesn't have to be perfect. Doesn't have to be that every day you're, you know, doing 3 hours of exercise and like only eating, you know, 50 grams of fiber per day. But this is an additive that works really well.
Yeah, no, I love hearing more about it just from your perspective too, because like you said, there's so many products out there that it's on Instagram, it's on TikTok, and you're like, okay, what do I take? What is there? And that's where even for me, I've really tried to look for clinically studied products and look at the ingredients. How important do you feel like specifically something being clinically studied is when you're looking for food or nutrients?
Yeah. You know, when we know that there is research on a product or on the ingredients, then we can point to the efficacy and also the safety. So that's like very important to me. I cannot recommend something to my patients that actually hasn't been clinically studied, and that I can't go and fine, somebody gives me a study, but I want to go into more research. And so I want to go into those medical databases and be able to like type in like, okay, chromium percolinate, give me everything I need to know about that. And then it's like, okay, great. I know that that's safe. It's efficacious in these amounts. Like, okay, awesome. And then you're okay to present that, because, you know, like you were a social worker. Like I am a dietitian. I have a license to maintain. And so I can only put my name behind things that are well researched and well documented, because, you know, if something happens to somebody, you want to know like, okay, great. Well, like it wasn't that. It wasn't this. No one's going to come back and point and be like, oh, this is something that, you know, made them sick or whatever. And so I do stand by that, you know, very strictly.
Yeah, no, I love that. And I just feel like even for me, that's been a change over the past few years of really looking at what's in our food, what's in our products, what we are taking. And it's super important that there's simple things that are clinically studied that have healthy ingredients in them and clean ingredients that we can just take them on the go, or you can make it at home. And that's why I love drinking this, because it really... it's easy. I can put it, like you said, you can make a cocktail with it or a mocktail with it,
yeah.
Or you can do different fun things, and it tastes so good without having all that extra sugar, and it's doing good things for your body. And we know that because it's clinically studied.
Yeah. I know that's like the best thing, and also it does taste good, America, I promise. So try.
It really does. I was like nervous right away when I tried it. I'm like, oh, is this going to be another just super like chalky feeling drink, or what's it going to be? And I'm like, okay, wait, like this is so different. It's actually so good. And it was so like fruity, flavorful, just so good.
Totally. I know. It's like, is it a trick? Like no aftertaste. It's really good. Yeah. So I'm excited for people to try it and like, you know, let us know what they think. It was so awesome talking to you today. I think you're so great. And I love the highlighting of trying to make myself small and like that not serving you. I don't think anyone should make themselves small. So take a tip from Kaylee. Don't do it. You guys are great. Kaylee, tell people where they can find you.
You can find me on Instagram at Kaylee.Slagus or TikTok at Kaylee Slagus. And then my YouTube is also the same. I post a lot of the same stuff. So
amazing. It was so good talking to you. Thanks for being here.
Thank you so much.
Thank you for tuning into Nature's Way to Wellness. If you're interested in trying Weight Manager, you can find it at Kroger, Amazon, or a grocery near you. And if you wish to learn more, visit naturesway.com. I'm Vanessa Rissetto, and this podcast is brought to you by Nature's Way, a pioneer in the vitamin and supplement industry for over 50 years.